Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall. We're at the First Presbyterian Church in Hayes, the library of the church, and the headquarters for the regular meetings of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, with a board of directors member and also family-to-family teacher, Mary Akins, as we talk about NAMI and a special meeting that's coming up on a family-to-family education program, which Mary will talk about in greater length in just a few minutes. But Mary, if we could, to begin with, how did you get involved with NAMI?
Well, this has been a few years ago. I was walking around at our church conference, and I saw a setup for this with a man there, and I asked him what it was because I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I didn't know what it was, and I asked him about it, and he told me about it. And we had two people in our community that had bipolar, and I said, well, maybe this could help them. And so then, but I wasn't willing to tell him that I was dealing with things myself, and I wasn't willing to tell him that other people needed help, but that's kind of how it started. And then I went into it myself more deeply about 3.5 years ago and found out what a support and what a help it is. And
you kind of just fitted into the local group then when you came, right, Mary?
I was in Pittsburgh at the time, 3.5 years ago, and they were just starting up a NAMI group.
That was Pittsburgh, Kansas.
And they were just starting up one, and I didn't want to be part of it because I wanted to hide, and I didn't want anybody to know, but I did. And I got involved, I got on the board, and my life changed dramatically.
Why did you want to hide?
Because of the stigma. Yeah, stigma's huge.
Which we're still dealing with.
You bet, we are still dealing with it.
Now, the local organization of NAMI is part of a larger statewide group as well as a national group, right?
Yes, we're part of NAMI, Kansas. We're one of, I think, 17 or 18 affiliates in the state, and then we're part of the national NAMI, which is, I think, in every state in the union, possibly.
Now, the local group meets on a regular basis?
Yes, we meet the first Monday of each month. Anywhere from 6 to 9, depending on what you want. If you want a support as a person with mental illness, you would come from 6 to 7, and there's a support group. And I lead that support group, and I've been trained. And it's not therapy, it's support. And so then 7 to 8 is our educational program, and we have some kind of a speaker each month. Like next month in February, Gina Anderson and I are going to be speaking on suicide awareness. Okay? And then if you want family support, it's 8 to 9. And I'm one of the support leaders for that as well.
Suicide awareness, you're dealing with some real issues, aren't you, Mary, during these meetings?
Yes, we're dealing with tough stuff. And this is a safe place to come and share, confidential, and it will transform your life if you give it a chance.
Who's invited to these meetings then, Mary?
Those who are mentally ill may come to the first hour from 6 to 7. If you're not, then don't expect to get into that because I will bar you from the door. And anyone is allowed between 7 and 8 who is interested, a friend who is concerned about what's going on in the world, or a family member. Anyone's involved in 7 to 8. And then 8 to 9, it's for family members, you know.
Now, NAMI is designed to help those that are dealing with what kinds of mental issues, Mary?
Well, just almost every kind that there is. We're not really support for Alzheimer's yet. That's not part of it yet. It might be someday, but PTSD, depression, bipolar, borderline personality disorder, anxiety disorders, OCD, panic disorders, different things like this.
So those of us that suffer from the occasional lapse in memory, or those areas where they're not comfortable dealing with people, there are a lot of areas that people could get involved with NAMI with, aren't there?
It could be help, so social anxiety disorders, things like that. The occasional lapse in memory is probably not what we're dealing with, and the Alzheimer's is not what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with full-blown addictions that are only addictions like drug and alcohol abuse. But if it was co-occurring also with a mental illness, yes, then this would be helpful.
So those of us that might be dealing with obsessive compulsive disorder might get a little insight there.
Yes. And you know, we have so much stress in our world that sometimes it's not just mental illness that's diagnosed, because sometimes we are mentally unhealthy and we may know it or we may not. But where is that line when it crosses over and it's consuming your life? But anyway, you can come for the educational programs, come and find out, and we've got classes to educate as well.
And also helpful to those who are dealing with people who are dealing with these issues as well. In other words, support people are welcome as well.
Right.
It was interesting because here in the library at the First Presbyterian Church, they have some NAMI information, and posted on the wall is a rather large piece of information. Jeff, you may want to get a shot of that later on, that deals with people with mental illness enrich our lives. And some of the people that are on this list include Abraham Lincoln, Buzz Aldrin, Kurt Cobain, Ernest Hemingway, Michelangelo, Vincent van Gogh, Jimmy Pearsall, Brian Wilson, Jane Pauley, people that we know, Mike Wallace, Tipper Gore. It's amazing.
Right.
And these are different types of mental problems or illnesses that famous people that we know and recognize, deal with that we may not have even known about.
Right.
Tell me about the services available through NAMI for individuals. You mentioned the meetings, you mentioned the support. Talk about some other areas.
Well, NAMI is about three things: education, support, and advocacy. So we educate through magazines and brochures. If you become a NAMI member, then you can get these 4 times a year. We educate through our library that we have here. We educate online with www.nami.org, and there's all kinds of things on there. We educate through all kinds of classes. We're starting our first class here at NAMI Hayes, but there's several other classes that we would like to get going, but we need more people involved who will be willing to take the training, which is free, and lead the classes, but we don't have enough people to do that right now.
So you'd like to recruit some people to actually lead those classes then?
Right, and sometimes those are family members and sometimes those are consumers, so it can, or friends. There's different needs out there that we need.
And maybe people in the community who are interested in helping with some of these areas and issues.
Right.
Okay, what about membership in NAMI? What's the cost?
Well, it's $35 a year, and half of that stays in NAMI, Kansas, and half of it comes here to help us. But if you are challenged economically, then it's, I think it's $3.
Really?
Yeah, you can still become a member and you still get both of these, and get everything else, but we're trying to help those who are in...
If there's an economic need there. Yeah. What about the types of membership, age groups, requirements?
Oh, you need to be 18 years and older, and then you can be part of.
Okay. For information then, go to the local NAMI headquarters. You're working with Ann Leiker at the Center for Life Experiences, I know.
Right.
And they've been a part of this help with NAMI for years and years.
Right. Anyone can come here to the library and get our brochures. This is our yearly brochure that we have, and it tells our programs. We have forms that you can sign up, or you can go online and find it out there.
Well, one of the programs, and this is particularly one of the reasons we wanted to visit with Mary, is Family to Family Education Program, which you and Jackie Reynolds will be facilitating.
Right.
Talk about that, would you?
If you are a family member, which I am, I had a child try to commit suicide a year ago. And so, not just being a consumer, then all of a sudden I got into the family realm, and it's like, oh my goodness, what are we dealing with here? And I'm very blessed that he didn't, wasn't successful. But we are dealing with all kinds of issues. So we're in this class, we're going to be talking about medications. We're going to be talking about what it feels like to have mental illness so you can try to understand your family member better. We're going to be having some classes on coping skills, on how to deal with them. And we're going to have some about problem solving. There will be a class on that about how to deal with problems that keep coming up again and again and again. It's like you're just playing the repeat button, and it's like, let's look at it in a new way and see if there's some, and then we'll learn some new skills for how to address these issues. So we're going to be learning about some of the different, many of the different diagnoses, and then we will be understanding the characteristics and maybe able to see, oh, this is where my family member is or is not, or, oh, maybe I need to talk to the doctor because I see some of these signs and I need to ask some questions of the doctor. Is this more what's going on? It's just going to be a greater understanding. It's going to be a place to find friendship, compassion, understanding, support. And those people who have taken the class said it changed their lives.
When and where are the classes, Mary?
Classes start next Thursday, January 22nd, I believe that is. 6:30 to 9 p.m. Please pre-register because I have 15 members and I can take 10 more. So my limit's 25. I need to have enough materials to have, everybody has a notebook. The class is free. It's at the First United Methodist Church next Thursday night.
Okay, and if you can't make the first class, is there a possibility for signing on later on? For
Yes, I can take you up for until the 5th of February, but if I have room. But after that, it'll just be too late to understand and get connected.
Okay. First United Methodist Church, Thursday, January 22nd, 6:30 to 9 p.m.
And it goes for 12 weeks.
12 weeks, pre-register, and the best part for many, no charge.
No charge, that's right.
So,
and change your life.
A wealth of information that's coming then,
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
So who should attend, Mary?
Anyone who has a family member that has mental illness that is concerned and is ready to get educated, get ready to, and needs support. So if you have a spouse, if you have a father or mother, if you have a child, it's not for friends. You know, it's not for a distant relative. It's someone you live with on a daily or almost daily basis.
Because you're dealing with that as much as the individual.
Yeah, and the child or the parent or sibling may not be living in your home, but if you deal with them on a regular basis, you know, you would benefit by it.
So how do we contact you to enroll in the class, Mary?
You may call this church or the Methodist Church, either one.
Okay. Mary Akins, Board of Directors on NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, as well as the family-to-family teacher along with the co-teacher Jackie Reynolds. And that event is coming up Thursday, January 22nd, 6:30 to 9, First United Methodist Church in Hayes. Call Mary Akins, or you can contact First Presbyterian Church or First United Methodist Church in Hayes. Mary Akins, our family-to-family teacher, the community connection. Thanks for watching.